3-1 on the way, and that one's given a ride deep into right field. All the way back to the track is Roman. He's looking up. It's gone! A 13th inning grand slam for Ryan Ramirez. And the Power take a commanding 12-6 lead in extras. Unbelievable as Ramirez unloads the bases. And the third base dugout erupts on the 361-foot blast. 2-1 on the way. That one's given a ride deep in the left center field. Julio going all the way back to the warning track. He reaches up, he leaps, and he robs a home run from Nick Horvath. Julio Rodriguez with the pump of the fist brings that one back. Hits this one up the middle, it's through the hole. West Virginia wins it in come-from-behind fashion, 5-4. High leg kick the pitch, hit right back up the middle into center field for a base hit. Rounding third is Bohm. Here comes the throw from Kelnick. All the way to the plate, it is in time. Pazos places the tag on Bohm for the third out of the inning, and Kelnick guns him down from center to save a run. 1-1 inside, and that one's given a ride. High in the air, deep right field. That one's into the Charleston night as well. It's a Bobby Baum on his birthday. 3-0 West Virginia here in the sixth. Moyer sat, lifts the leg, the 1-2. Breaking ball hit hard to short. Rosa picks it up with the glove side, tosses to second for one. The throw to first is in time, and the twin killing gets outs 1 and 2 in the inning.
On to the fourth inning in West Virginia and the Hagerstown Suns. Still no score as West Virginia has mustered 3 hits in the first 3 innings. Hagerstown just 1 to carry you through the middle innings. Here's Kyle Youmans.
Well, thank you very much, David. Hagerstown going to try and get things rolling with the 2, 3, 4 hitters due up to start off this fourth frame. Matt Martin on the hill. Martin, the right-hander, dealing through the first 3 frames of his low-A debut. Ever since his promotion from Everett, he has looked quite impressive. His first professional start. Right-hander Justin Connell to lead things off with the first pitch. Misses inside for ball 1. Connell popped out to Bobby Honeyman on the first pitch that he saw back in the first inning, as he's 0 for 1 on the day. Martin, who works out of the stretch from the middle of the rubber, kicks and delivers the 1-0. Breaking ball misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Like David mentioned earlier, Martin dealing with just the 3 pitches in the arsenal, a 4-seam slider and a changeup. And fastball placed well, and he's able to throw it up with a little bit of run as well. 2-0. Sidearm pitch that time misses inside, and Connell had to back out of the box and avoid getting hit in the left hip that time as it ran in toward the belt line. 3 balls and no strikes to start things off to Connell. And all of a sudden, Martin struggling here in the fourth frame to try and find the zone. Dangerous part of the order to do so against. Connell steps back in. Quiet hands as he awaits the 3-0, and that one does catch the strike zone. 3-1. Infield shifted to the left side, only on the left side of the infield, though. Right side playing straight up. So you've got Sanders playing deep into the hole in between second and third. Here's the 3-1. And that fastball catches the outside corner. Connell had already started his stride down the first, but instead he's going to have to return back to the right-handed batter's box against Colin Barron, who called it a strike from back behind the dish. 3 balls, 2 strikes as Martin has climbed back into this at-bat. To the bell tie set, he settles, gets the sign. Nod to the head, the kick and the pitch. And that fastball misses inside, ball 4, and Connell does ultimately work a leadoff walk here in the 4th inning. Gives us a chance to remind you this broadcast is brought to you by Appalachian Power, serving nearly 1 million customers in West Virginia, Virginia, and Tennessee, as well as the official sponsor of Appalachian Power Park. If you've got a power problem, call Appalachian Power at 1-800-956-4237 or visit www.appalachianpower.com. No score here in the top of the 4th. Lefty Drew Mendoza stepping in, 0 for 1 with a strikeout against Martin thus far. 3rd round draft pick out of Florida State. The open stance crowding from that left-handed batter's box. Martin ready, first pitch. And a fastball catches the outside corner. 0-1. Mendoza with the 2-run bomb last night that ultimately ended up being the difference in all Hagerstown needed. That one coming in the third inning of last night's ball game and went 433 feet into the Charleston night. Before that, he had struck out 3 straight at bats before leading up to the long ball. Martin, the 0-1. Fastball, outside corner, called strike 2. Another good pitch from Martin that at the moment just has Mendoza guessing from the left side. Has to step out, readjust the batting gloves all the way to the right side of the home plate circle, almost going down the pathway to the power dugout before he does pull a 180, turn back in, clinks both of his cleats with the edge of his two-tone bat and settles back into the box. 0-2, Martin steadies. Kick in the pitch. Breaking ball just misses outside. A slider breaking away from the left-hander in Mendoza. Manny Pazos thought it was strike 3, but instead it's 1-2. Not a bad pitch. That time from Matt Martin. Been very impressed with what we've seen throughout the first 3 frames plus in this ball game. Here's the 1-2. That one breaks in and bounces in front of Pazos off first base, and the throw clinks off of the glove of O'Neal Pena and into foul territory on the warning track. Pazos blocked that ball in the dirt. The runner at first and Justin Connell took 2 extra steps before throwing on the brakes, realizing that ball didn't trickle very far in front of Pazos. The hesitation had him dead in the water between first and second, and the throw from Pazos on the money to O'Neal Pena, but it clanks off of the first baseman and into foul territory as Connell is safely able to return to the bag at first. Now, no advancement on the play, but a chance for out number 1 squandered with just a missed catch opportunity down the first base side. 2-2 the count. Now to Mendoza after all the hubbub. Still no score here in the top of the 4th. Martin ready, 2-2. Another changeup. That one missed outside, and the count fills up. Israel Pineda on deck as Mendoza has worked the count full. 4 homers and 22 RBIs on the year. Lefty out of Florida, 268 batting clip. 3-2 on its way. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. The throw down from Pazos is off into the left of Matt Sanders as it'll trickle into center field. It's a stolen bag for Justin Connell, but out number 1 on the strikeout as Mendoza has been sent down on a K the second time today. Stolen base number 9 of the season for Connell, who had a really good jump and a nice read off of Martin on the pitch. Martin does get 1 out here, but the Suns do have their first runner in scoring position of the night as Pineda will step in. The owner of the only hit that the Suns have up to this moment. Only 2 base runners against Martin. It was the Pineda single in the second inning, and then Connell, who's currently at second base, who was able to work his way aboard on a walk. Pazos vacating the crouch back behind home plate, going to share a couple words with Martin in between the hill and the home plate circle before Pazos returns back to the crouch. Pineda on the series, 6 for 11 versus West Virginia. He's had a homer and 4 RBIs against the Power this year. 219 average, 6 homers and 32 RBIs. Quick look at second for Martin. Lifts the lag, and the first pitch is a fastball on the inside corner, 0-1. Pineda taking the entire way there, didn't pick up the all-tan bat off of that right shoulder. So he regrips the pine tar on the handle and then leads back in with that right leg, tapping the plate twice and then twirling the bat around in a windmill formation before hovering it up above the dome. Martin again from the low set. The righty kicks, and the hurl misses inside for ball 1. Not a bad pitch again from Martin, who doesn't necessarily blow it by anybody, but he has enough movement on all 3 of his pitches that he is able to keep batters guessing from the dish. Kyle Marincon's on deck for the Suns. 1 down, runner at second. Still no score here in the top of the 4th. 1-1. Fastball sails outside as that time Martin just held on to it a little bit too long, went into the opposite batter's box. Pazos with an easy snag to keep it in front of him. Got Connell at second base. Worked the leadoff walk and then stole the bag on strike 3 as Mendoza came up empty in his at-bat. Now in scoring position for the first time today. 2-1. Breaking ball chopped right back up the middle, snagged by Martin, looked to third. Instead, he pulls a 180, turns around and throws it to Pena at first. As he thought about getting the lead runner, but instead goes with the sure out. And there is out number 2. On to third base goes Justin Connell, who was off on contact. And it looked like there would have been an opportunity there for Martin to throw it to Bobby Honeyman, who was covering the bag in time at third. But Martin elected not to make it a tag play to get the lead runner and just wanted to turn and get the not so fleet of foot Pineda hustling down that first base line. 2 down, runner at third for Maricons, who steps in 0 for 1 on the day. First pitch sails high and outside for ball 1. So 1-3 on the putout. Suns with the first run of the ball game, standing just 90 feet away. So he takes his lead off a third. Maricons from the left side, closed stance. A very still bat up above the dome. 1-0. That one's cracked into center field, maybe lifted up just enough for Cook, who has to leap and makes the grab up above his head. Having to extend that left arm as he overran it initially, but he reels it in just in time before that ball almost got away from him and went to the wall and straightaway center. It's another scoreless frame for Matt Martin in his low A debut. No score as we head to the bottom of the 4th here on the West Virginia Power Baseball Network.
Thanks for listening to West Virginia Power Baseball. Let's head back to the stadium.
On to the bottom of the 4th we go here from Charleston, West Virginia. Appalachian Power Park hosting Game 3 of 4 between the Power and the Suns. Before we get things started in the bottom of the 4th, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the Power Baseball Network.
1300 AM WJYP St. Albans and 1340 AM WMON Montgomery. The Jock.
Matt Sanders to lead things off for West Virginia here in the bottom of the 4th of a scoreless ball game between the Power and the Suns. 1-0 the count to the Power right-handed hitter. 1-0. That one's cracked into center field. On comes Upshaw. He's there to reel it in for out number 1. Sanders swinging early in the count again. Second straight time he's swung on a 1-0 pitch. And he's 0 for 2 on the day. As Austin Shinton will step in. Power slugger 0 for 9 in this series thus far against Hagerstown. Just trying to get up off the ground here in this short homestand. First pitch misses inside, 1 ball and no strikes. 2 strikeouts for Shinton over the course of the series. 248 hitter with 4 homers and 19 RBIs. Lastre on the hill out of the full windup, the 1-0. And that one's cracked. High in the air, deep into right center field. Back goes Connell looking up, and it's off the top of the wall. It hits off the Segroff sign. Rounding second, heading for third is Shinton. The ball still hasn't been picked up. Rounding third, heading for home is Shinton. He's going to slide in head first. He's safe. And inside the park homer for Austin Shinton, and the Power take a 1-0 lead. The most unlikely candidate for an inside the Parker, the Mariners' number 29 prospect, Austin Shinton, clinks it off the wall in right center field and makes it all the way around the bases. Give that man some oxygen. Huffing and puffing his way around and finally sliding in safely. My goodness, Shinton on his horse. As West Virginia takes a 1-0 lead. Here's O'Neal Pena. Big swing and a miss. And there's strike 1. Pena hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. First inside the Parker for West Virginia since Lolo Sanchez did it back on April 10th of last year against Lakewood in game 1 of a doubleheader. The 0-1. This one sails high and outside. Pena takes it for ball 1. An easy take for Pena. 1 ball and 1 strike. 5th homer of the year for Austin Shinton. Breaking ball misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Pena. That one missing, going out of the yard by just a couple of inches. Really close, up above the top of the Segra sign. As Pena cracks this one off of the end of the bat and foul off into the left. 2-2 the count. 1 down in the inning. Power now with a 1-0 lead after the inside the Parker for Austin Shinton, soft dribbler off the end of the bat, barehanded by Alastre, and he makes a solid throw over to first for out number 2. Tough play for Alastre coming off the hill, third base side, having to range over and stab that one into the Kentucky bluegrass before picking it up and throwing a strike over to Mendoza at first. Regardless, Pena is retired, and here's Charlie McConnell stepping in. McConnell with a base hit in his first at-bat of the day. Scorched one to right field. That extended the inning in the second frame. Went 0 for 4 last night after notching a multi-hit game in game 1 of the series. He takes his first pitch outside for ball 1. 1-0 to McConnell. Big swing and a miss on the high heater. 93 on the gun that time from Alastre. And McConnell came up empty. Infield straight up. Mendoza hugging the line over at first as McConnell awaits the 1-1. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and it's now 1-2. McConnell, 207 hitter now on the year. 3 homers and 36 RBIs after his single back in the second. Down in the count here, 1-2, 2 down, nobody on for the left-handed McConnell. The pitch from Alastre. It's skied in the air. Staying in on the infield, right up the middle. And it'll be the shortstop Vickers who ranges over, calls everyone off, and makes the grab for out number 3. But the Power do strike first on a Austin Shinton inside the park homer. The first one the Power have had since April of last year. We're on to the 5th here from Appalachian Power Park. 1-0 West Virginia on the Power Baseball Network.
On to the 4th inning, 2-0 West Virginia. Devin Sweet has faced the minimum through 3 for the middle 3 innings. Time for Kyle Youmans.
Thank you very much, David. Top of the order due up here for the Rome Braves against Sweet 16 on the mound as he continues to deal against the Braves. They have not been able to touch him in 2 straight starts, and it remains true today. I do want to remind you, though, this broadcast is brought to you by Appalachian Power, serving nearly 1 million customers in West Virginia, Virginia, and Tennessee, as well as the official sponsor of Appalachian Power Park. If you've got a power problem, call Appalachian Power at 1-800-956-4237. Devin Sweet out of the full windup. First pitch on the way to Justin Dean, and it's chopped foul back into the screen for strike 1. Dean, the only base runner for the Rome Braves thus far. He singled the lead off the ball game on a 2-2 pitch that was left up from Devin Sweet. And Dean took advantage and knocked it into the left field grass. 0-1. Breaking ball. That one floats in, but it's taken on the upper part of the zone for strike 2. Good frame from Angia, pulling that breaking ball down from Devin Sweet. And it's 0-2 to the 282 hitter hitting from the right side. 0-2 on the way. Fastball, and that one skied in the air. Deep left center field. Julio ranging all the way back. He's at the warning track. That ball is gone as it clanks just above the left center field wall. That ball continued to carry, and West Virginia sees that lead cut in half. A solo shot from Justin Dean. He's been the one thorn in the side for Devin Sweet today. And finally, the Rome Braves are on the board. Took until the 4th inning to finally scratch one across, and they do it on the solo shot. It's Dean's 6th homer of the year. Only the 2nd hit of the ball game. That one traveled 409 feet. First pitch on the way. Misses outside to the all-star second baseman and Greg Cullen. 1 ball and no strikes. Sweet, not a guy who normally is susceptible to the long ball. He's only given up 5 this year as this one's cracked foul off the end of the bat and out of play, evening the count back up at 1-1. This is now into the dangerous part of the Braves order. The Dean has really been the only dangerous part today against Sweet, at least the first time through the order. 1-1 on the way, kicking the pitch from Sweet. This one's chopped first base side. It'll be gloved by Manny Pazos on the first base line. The underhand toss to Sweet, covering the bag, and it's in time to retire Greg Cullen for out number 1. Cullen runs very well down that first base line, especially with the head start coming out of that left-handed batter's box. That was a tough play for Manny Pazos, who was playing off the line at first base, had to range over glove side and snag that one, potentially robbing extra bases, and instead sending Cullen down for the first out here in the top of the 4th. Here's Braden Shoemake, former Texas A&M Aggie. First pitch from Sweet, and that one's off the end of the bat and sent foul over the third base dugout and out of play. Shoemake, a .321 hitter with a homer and 23 RBIs on the year. out of Wiley, Texas, east of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. 0-1. That one's hit a mile. High in the air, deep in the right field, all the way back to the warning track as Ramirez, he looks up, and that ball will leave the yard. Braden Shoemake ties this game up with a solo shot to straightaway right field, and all of a sudden, we're knotted up at 2. Second homer of his professional career for Braden Shoemake. And we've got a whole new ball game as this one travels 384 feet down the right field line. Jake Anchia going to go out and chat with Devin Sweet and talk things over as the Rome Braves have put a 2-spot up on the board to start things off here in the 4th, and there's still just 1 out. 2 solo shots in the inning. As now Sweet will look to rebound here against Shea Langoliers. Langoliers, another Texas product out of Keller, just north of Fort Worth. Here's the first pitch on the way from Sweet. A big swing and a miss on the high fastball. 89 on the gun that time from Sweet, and it's 0-1. Sweet giving up multiple homers here in the inning, now up to 7 total allowed on the season. 0-1. That was right down the middle, but it's fouled off the end of the bat. 91 on the gun that time from Sweet, and it's 0-2 to Langoliers. Sikkim Shea, as they called him at Baylor University, 8 RBIs against the Power in the first series, but here on a breaking ball, just misses outside. Not a bad pitch from Devin Sweet at all. So he went to the slider that time, and it looked to be perfectly placed on the outer half. Instead, it's 1-2. Here is that 1-2 delivery, and that one swung on and missed. No doubt about that one, and it's K number 6 on the day for Devin Sweet, and there's 2 down here in the 4th. So other than a couple of pitches left up here in the inning, Devin Sweet able to rebound against Shea Langoliers for his 6th strikeout of the evening. And now here's Griffin Benson. Benson 0 for 1. He flew out back in the 2nd inning on a 1-2 fastball. First pitch on the way. And that one up and in, but it's a swing and a miss from Benson as he swung at ball 1. Sweet challenging him immediately with the heater. Up in and on the hands. 0-1. Sweet steps back, kicks high in the air and delivers. That one misses up above the letters. 1 ball and 1 strike. Benson struggling mightily in the second half, especially in the month of July. Just a 182 average for the 5-hole first baseman for the Rome Braves. 1-1. Big swing and a miss. Outside changeup had Benson well out in front. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Benson a total of 0 for 13 against West Virginia this season with 7 strikeouts. Sweet looking to make it 8. 1-2 on the way from Devin Sweet, and it misses outside. The count evens back up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jeremy Fernandez awaits in the on-deck circle. He was a strikeout victim back in the 2nd on just 3 pitches. A tall, lanky Benson stepping in to that left-handed batter's box. Hovers the 2-tone bat up above the dome as Sweet kicks and delivers. That one right down the middle, cold, strike 3. 7 Ks for Devin Sweet as he gets through the 4th. However, 2 solo shots in the inning as West Virginia and the Rome Braves are tied up at 2 apiece. We're on to the bottom of the 4th on the Power Baseball Network.
Let's head back to the stadium.
59 pitches, 37 for strikes for Adavi Javier as he steps back out on the hill for the bottom of the 4th inning. Tie ball game, 2-2 after a pair of solo shots in the top of the 4th. First pitch to Manny Pazos is a breaking ball, but Pazos can't hold up on the check swing, and it's 0-1. Both Justin Dean and Braden Shoemake leaving the yard in the 4th off of Devin Sweet as the 0-1 misses inside to Manny Pazos. Breaking ball slipped out of the hand of Javier, and it's 1-1. Infield playing straight up here for Rome against Manny Pazos as the 1-1's delivered, and a big swing and a miss for strike 2. Pazos was a strikeout victim back in the 2nd inning on a 1-2 fastball that Javier just blew right past him. Pazos struggling with a 193 average, 1 homer and 6 RBIs on the year. 1-2 on the way. Javier misses this one outside. Snagged by Langoliers behind the dish in the opposite batter's box. 2 balls and 2 strikes, top of the order looming. The pitch on the way. That one's a slider that drops below the zone. Good take from Pazos as that one started in what looked like the lower half, but then dropped down. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch on the way. Fastball misses low, and it was actually ball 4. As Pazos will toss the lumber off into the right. It's the third walk issued by Javier in the ball game. And now the top of the lineup has something to work with the runner at first and nobody out. Ryan Ramirez stepping in. Ramirez with a single in his last at bat, already his 9th hit in just 16 at bats against the Rome Braves this season. First pitch on the way. That one sails eye level up and out of the zone for ball 1. Easy take for Ryan Ramirez, who steps in with a .242 average, 7 homers, and 38 RBIs. Runner at first. Nobody out. The 1-0 pitch. That one skips low. Nice stop by Langoliers. In one motion, already popping up into a throwing stance. No chance for Pazos to even take an extra secondary lead, as Langoliers was ready to pounce. 2 balls and no strikes here to Ramirez from the left side against the righty Javier. 2-0. That one works its way in. Ball 3. And after losing Manny Pazos, Javier struggling to find the zone again here against Ryan Ramirez. 3 balls, no strikes. The kick and the pitch outside. No, a called strike. Catches the outside corner, says Brian Van Vranken behind the dish. Thought for sure that would have been ball 4, but instead Ryan Ramirez has to step back in for a 3-1 pitch. Here it is. That one, no doubt about it, is ball 4 as it works its way into the opposite batter's box. 2 straight walks to start the inning. On to second goes Manny Pazos as Ryan Ramirez will trot his way down to the first base bag. So here's Matt Sanders. Fresh off of his solo shot in the first. He then flew out back in the second inning, his 3rd time up against Javier in the ball game. His 2nd homer of the year. The first pitch, breaking ball that catches the inner half for strike 1. Sanders in the designated hitter spot today, seeing that average climb now to a .279 mark. Has been unbelievably consistent with the power this season, quietly consistent. 0-1. And that one slapped the other way and into left field. It'll fall for a base hit. They're going to hold up Pazos at third base as the throw comes in from Fernandez to the cutoff man in the middle of the diamond. But West Virginia is going to have the bases loaded with nobody out for Julio Rodriguez. How about this for a rally starter? A couple of walks and then an 0-1 single to left from Matt Sanders, his 2nd hit of the day. And now Rodriguez, who's already sitting on 2 base knocks in the ball game, has an opportunity with some ducks on the pond. Not even just ducks on the pond. How about the entire pond filled with ducks everywhere? As everything's loaded up for Julio Rodriguez. Bobby Honeyman on deck, but Julio looking to explode on the J-Rod show here. First pitch. And that one slapped off the handle, up and over the first base dugout, and into the concourse it'll go for strike 1. Julio with the single and a run scored back in the first inning. He came around to score on the Jake Anchia RBI base knock. Then he singled again in the 3rd and was stranded just 90 feet away from scoring his 2nd run of the ball game. 0-1. That one cracked off the handle, lofted in the right field. Campbell underneath it. Pazos makes a feint toward the bag, but he will hold up as that one was not deep enough for Pazos to try and risk it for a sacrifice fly, and instead there's one down. Bases remain loaded, and Bobby Honeyman will step in. A huge out for Adavi Javier. The bases loaded and nobody down, and quite possibly the best power hitter in the West Virginia order at the plate, but now he's got the red-hot Bobby Honeyman stepping in, who needs to still continue his 7-game hitting streak. He walked in the first and then grounded out on a tough play in the infield to Braden Shoemake. First pitch on the way. That one misses outside. Langoliers has to vacate his crouch and go to the knees to keep that one in front of him, and it's ball 1. Honeyman hitting safely in 25 of his last 26 ball games as the 1-0 is delivered. That one outside as well. 2 balls and no strikes. Close to that pitch that we saw from Ryan Ramiz earlier in the inning, so seeing that the borderline on that outside call could go either way. 2 balls, no strikes. Honeyman watches this one outside, same spot. Langoliers tried to steal a strike there with the frame, but instead it's 3 balls, no strikes, and nowhere to put Bobby Honeyman. You know he's going to be challenged here. Wind softly blowing out to right field. Infield straight up, bases loaded, 3-0 pitch on the way. And it misses low, ball 4, and the Power will retake the lead at 3-2 on the bases loaded walk issued to Bobby Honeyman. Pazos trots his way in, he'll tap the pay station. And the Power are now back up by 1 with a chance to add on some more with Austin Shinton coming to the plate. The Rome bullpen going to get up and moving finally after the 3rd walk of the inning from Dalvi Javier. And a uber dangerous Austin Shinton stepping in. Mound visit here for Rome as they look to figure some things out. Not the entire infield, just Langoliers out there with Javier, as well as the 3rd baseman in Vasquez. Gives us some time now for today's trivia question of the game, brought to you by WSAZ Charleston. You can send in your answers to WBPowerBaseball@gmail.com. And the question today has to do with Devin Sweet's last start against the Rome Braves. Of course, it was a complete game. We've talked about that ad nauseum today. First complete game in Power history. How many strikeouts did Devin Sweet have in that ball game? Send in your answers to WBPowerBaseball@gmail.com before the middle of the 5th inning. So here's Austin Shinton, bases loaded, 1 down. First pitch on the way, and it's a big hack and a miss. As Shinton offered up at the changeup, but was well out in front of it for strike 1. We've now got Ramiz at the bag at 3rd. Matt Sanders at 2nd, Honeyman at 1st. 0-1 on the way. Shinton slaps this one the other way through the hole, past the diving Vasquez and in the left field. 1 run will score. Sanders comes around 3rd. He'll dive in head first safely. 2 runs come in to score, and Bobby Honeyman caught in a rundown. He'll be tagged down. Another turn, and the tag is placed on Austin Shinton, trying to get to second base. However, West Virginia, despite the end of the inning here, able to get 2 runs on the RBI single from Austin Shinton into left as Ramiz scores easily from 3rd base. Sanders scores from 2nd. Honeyman trying to go 1st to 3rd on the throw, but it was cut off, thrown to the 3rd base bag. He was tagged out on his way back to 2nd. Shinton trying to stretch it to 2. He was tagged out, sliding feet first into the bag just in time, and the inning will come to a close. An interesting way to bring the 4th inning to an end, but the West Virginia Power strike for 3 in the frame. They lead it 5-2. We're on to the 5th at Appalachian Power Park on the Power Baseball Network. 5-2 Power as we head to the 5th inning here from Appalachian Power Park after the 4th inning came to the close with your normal 2 RBI base hit, 7-2, 5-4 double play to end the inning. First pitch from Devin Sweet.